Hi, this is Billie Beene here with another segment of Truth by Billie Beene. Today's date is September 19, 2022. This is a new YouTube channel for me. I have a subscribe button in the lower right corner of my screen. Thanks for like, subscribe, and share. This is Special Report, Episode 402, Ukraine, American mercenaries and Chinese troops. And the U.S. and NATO poke Russia in the area of the nation of Georgia and other areas. Some of my sources are God in the Bible, Patriot Subscribers, Israeli News Live, Defense Politics Asia, Alexander Christoforou, Alex Makaras, New Atlas, and others. So let's get started. Okay, we have in my recent update from yesterday, I was talking about what's going on in Ukraine. So here's Ukraine, here's Crimea, considered to be a part of Russia by Russia and the people there since 2014. And here we have Russia. And in this area, we've got the Black Sea. And then we come down, we've got Turkey, we've got Armenia, we've got Azerbaijan, we've got the nation of Georgia. And I demonstrated from sources that we have boots, U.S. boots, on the ground in Georgia. And now information is coming out about how the U.S. and NATO are pinging this area to get something going so they can bring in troops to be right on the border here with Russia. And they had already set up in Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Kaliningrad, a situation where Russia couldn't ship goods to its enclave except through the Sea of Finland. That happened a couple of months ago, and then NATO set up warships in this area. And we learned yesterday, here's Ukraine, Moldova. There's a Russian enclave here in Moldova, Tranista, with Russian troops. And then we learned yesterday that the U.S. and NATO are shipping HIMARS through Romania to Moldova. And we had those earlier reports of Polish and other troops going through Moldova, putting on Moldova military outfits, and then also going into Ukraine and changing into Ukraine military outfits. So, yeah, from the beginning. And in 2014 is when NATO and the shadow U.S. began this onslaught on Ukraine. So that's going on. Now, here's some new information. So yeah, Alex Christoforou saying October 1 is when women inside Ukraine will be on their front lines from certain professional occupations. I don't know why they put that drawing, unless it's the deep state's desire to take out women who are educated first inside Ukraine. Put them on the front line. Let's get rid of that part of the Ukraine people's genetic bloodline, which appears to be an objective of the deep state, with both the Ukraine people and the Ukraine's former citizens who were Slavs and speak Russian. Yeah, get rid of those bloodlines. Okay, so also Alex Christoforou is reporting that the deep state inside Ukraine is asking the U.S. for long-range missiles, and President Putin and other representatives of the Russian government had said if the U.S. gives Ukraine long-range missiles that would reach Crimea and Russia, that would be a game changer. Okay. Now we have this coming out from Defense Politics Asia. that fighting on behalf of Ukraine is now a U.S. Mercenary group. So I'll give you that information. This is an American PMC, private military corporation called Academy. And they have their troops somewhere in this area right here. Luhansk, Donetsk. We know heavy fighting's going on in this area. So that's coming out. And we had that earlier video from Israeli News Live showing that inside Ukraine there were troops speaking American English. Okay. Now, this is what we have going on also. So I'll draw a new map here. So we can see how this U.S. shadow NATO has been going on. Okay, so we have Ukraine, we have Russia, we have Belarus. All right, so now in this area we've got the Black Sea, we've got Turkey, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Iran, Georgia. Now, we have from Armenia, when the Soviet Union fell in 1992, this area was divided, and they put a group of Armenian people, they speak the Armenian language, they're Christians, and they put them inside Azerbaijan that speaks a different language, and they're also primarily Muslim. So there's a small area here, Ossetia, that's wants independence from Azerbaijan because it's Armenian Christians. They want to reunite with Armenia. Now, Armenia is part of a CSTO. It's a treaty group to protect Armenia, and who is part of that? That would be Russia. And Russia also has inside Armenia Russian troops and Russian military base. So we see now why. Oh yeah, and the U.S. and NATO are also trying to entice Armenia to become part of NATO. So we see a setup to invoke fighting in this area. And then also in this area we have U.S. military boots on the ground right here, right now. All right. So that's going on. Now, we have some information about another private military group inside Ukraine, and this is Wagner. And this is a Russian private military corporation. And they were instrumental in taking down Lysychansk a few weeks ago. And they are currently fighting in the area of Bakhmut, which is a key headquarters area for Ukraine near, here's Luhansk, Donetsk. Bakhmut is somewhere around here. All right. So now, Wagner is, according to Israeli News Live, and he has video, recruiting inside Russian prisons. And they're saying that to the prisoners, join this private military corporation and we'll train you and you can go to Ukraine and fight for a 6-month contract, and then your prison term will go away. And it's good for prisoners in good health between the ages of 22 to 50 was convicted of certain crimes. Certain crimes, take you out of the bidding for a 6-month contract. Now, reports are that many of the Russian conscripts who would have signed contracts with the Russian military and then came to Ukraine. Those contracts expire in September. So they're saying, yeah, there's a big push to get some fresh individuals going here. And we know also in, here's Crimea, here's Odessa, Kherson, Mykolaiv, Nikopol, Zaporozhye area, that in these areas there's supposed to be a referendum in September for these areas to declare themselves independent and also to be able to sign up as conscripts and volunteers and begin training. So we see somewhat of a manpower operation going here. Now, we have Israeli News Live giving this report, and he had his beautiful wife, Jana, translate. It was a Russian video, and his wife can translate the Russian so that it showed Chinese troops, and they were coming in their own vehicles. They had Chinese writing on them, so I'm assuming they also would bring their own military equipment on which they were trained. And they're going into Ukraine, right at the Luhansk, Donetsk, right at this border. So I have Crimea here. So we have Chinese troops going in. So right now we don't know how many. And it's speculated that part of the reason for the Chinese troops coming in, of course, this would be a plus for Russia, but for China, and this will be Chairman Xi, who is part of the alliance, along with President Trump, President Putin, Prime Minister Modi. But it would give the Chinese troops also combat experience in their upcoming push and an undescribed yet military operation regarding Taiwan. So we see that things are going on. The U.S. and NATO are poking Russia and moving U.S. troops and American mercenaries to Ukraine, and also that Chinese troops are going in. So this concludes my special report. We need to be in prayer for Russia, for Ukraine, for China, for the U.S. I love you, and I'll see you soon.